everybody. Episode 4. Can you hear all the clapping in the background?
I can.
I can't.
No, yeah, it's solo. The one hand clapping.
Yeah, we got Data's. No, he's not.
No, he
He's
wasn't.
stopped.
He was
Hey, we made it to episode 4. We haven't been canceled. We haven't been shut down. The FCC hasn't come by once.
No.
So that's a good sign.
Once it's on the internet, it's forever.
It's forever and
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
Whatever. Oh, we don't need fact checking.
No,
Because,
and then we'll just put it straight onto the deep web, and the government doesn't even go there.
oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't think iTunes and Google Play are the deep web.
No.
But we're working on
They're
that.
not. Sometimes I just go over to Starbucks and put it there, though.
Via someone else's computer.
Yeah.
Of course. You
Of
don't want to use your own
All right.
for that kind of thing. Well, hey, we've made it to episode 4, and we're happy to have you here and listening. We've got everyone has congealed in the garage.
We got Data's back.
Data's is back. And that
From
kid's,
his I won't pay to see pumpkins
yeah.
from our last
And
podcast.
I'm
but
just saying that kid's got issues.
he was there. He did it.
Absolutely. And I think he did pumpkin carving, but in a non-natural way.
Oh.
Yeah. And he didn't use a knife.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, he took his girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of guts.
Yeah.
So anyway, this stuff only works if you guys let other people know. So if you're listening to this and you enjoy what you're listening to and you think other people will enjoy what you're listening to,
Share it with a friend.
Share it with a friend.
If not, share it with a stranger. Just don't do it in a
Or a
windowless
frenemy.
van. Yeah. Or a frenemy.
A friend of me, yeah. Yeah. So, but you can get us on iTunes. You can get us on Google Play. You can get us on Spotify. Or you can get us direct on our website at saddadsclub.net. Subscribe, rate, and review. Tell a friend. And, of course, other sad dads.
Like, I think I said before in one of the earlier podcasts that I actually listened to it directly from the webpage.
Yeah.
But I had the kids in the office, and normally I have the Google Music subscription, so I hadn't seen how to do podcasts from the music store from Google stuff, and it was super easy.
Oh, you mean direct from the
yeah,
website?
so subscribing to the podcast through Google Play, I'm like, I don't. Normally, I just listen to it on the Mac, obviously, because it's where I get my podcast. But
Sure.
in the office on my work computer, Google Music, so I subscribe there. It's real easy.
I subscribe through iTunes. But I don't know how it works if you subscribe through the website. How does that work?
I don't know.
I don't know
I just know that it's there. So then,
Okay.
I get a hangout or an instant message from a dude who tells me it's up, fucker. And then I listen.
Who is that?
I don't know.
One of our workers.
Some dude from the deep web.
Worker B. It's not Data's. We haven't figured out what that guy does. But he's doing something. He's here and it's important.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Carves pumpkins
He just
and gets the shaft.
no knife. It's the weirdest thing. Anyway, so also you can hit us up on Facebook. Facebook.com/SadDadsPodcast. You can hit us up on Twitter @SadDadsPodcast. You can email us with your questions or suggestions or criticisms or
Yeah.
angry mob mentality at saddadsclubpodcast@gmail.com. That's a mouthful right there.
It's long. When I look at it, it's huge.
That's what she said.
I know. That's what they all say.
And anyway, so, pass it around.
We have new chairs.
We did actually grow our... Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
This is amazing. We're already upgrading the facility.
Right. We didn't win the lotto.
No. Well,
so we didn't get Lazy Boys.
Sorry, but I actually did.
Did you?
I won $2.
So you got to put that back into the thing.
Oh.
Back into the hopper.
Yeah. Well, the $1.6 billion is gone. Apparently, some clown in South Carolina that hasn't come forward yet.
Probably some dude with a still.
Oh, he's going to have a nice still afterwards.
Yeah.
And probably a better truck.
Probably. Or some sort of like NASCAR mock up.
Yeah. Well, it did have some feedback. We had someone tell us that they had some extra pool salt for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Person by the name of Jason Moore.
Yeah.
Hashtag hello, Jason.
Hey, Argonaut.
But I already have plenty of salt. I am actually the
Do
pool.
you buy extra?
Well, when we were having equipment issues, it kept telling us we were low, so I kept adding salt. So and then the pool had too much salt, so now I'm draining some out.
You started getting like hermit crabs showing up. Hey, we heard this was the ocean.
Where's the sand and rocks?
Hello, fucker.
So yeah, but yeah, we got chairs. This is insane.
We're a little higher.
We're a little bit higher. We're sort of on Data's level now, which I'm not sure if we were supposed to come up or if he was supposed to come down.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
it kind of seemed like
we
he
can
was.
give him more of a shaft.
He was on the high side, and
There's a shaft in
I don't
here
mean
somewhere.
elevation. But so anyway, so how about the weekend stuff? Did you have anything good this weekend?
Busy. Anniversary.
Oh, you did.
I did a little bit. I heard you had an anniversary too.
I didn't.
17 years. Married to my wife, 17 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah. We make jokes about, we've been married for 80 plus N years.
Yeah.
'Cause, when you get to a certain point, the running joke is funny. So
But
we don't remember.
So you kids met in high school,
Yes.
and did you date in high school? I don't think if I remember the story.
Tail end of high school.
Okay,
Tail end.
so
But-
you started dating in high school.
Pretty much. And then all the way till 2002, dated pretty much straight out of high school.
Now I want to know, and you can be as honest as possible. If not, well,
Okay.
I know where you live.
Yeah.
Who settled? I'm totally joking.
I'm like, wait, what?
Wait.
Who settled for what?
Which one of you two settled? No, I'm kidding. I'm
yeah.
totally joking. So that's cool. Did you do anything good? Did you go out to dinner or
No.
beat the kids extra hard? Or
No, we didn't. She had stuff all day, and I had work.
oh,
So the gifts that we got each other when you're married this long, apparently, and you get that it's just about being. She got me a bag of a really nice card and a bag of caramel and M&Ms, which I tried not to binge on because she had left for the day with Piper.
which
for
I'm
band.
glad you said that rather than a bag of enemas. Because
Yeah,
that's where I thought
yeah.
you were
And
headed.
I got her a Cade 6 from Destiny, one of the characters that's
Oh.
voiced by Nathan Fillion. I got her essentially an action figure of one of the characters from Destiny.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So she dig that?
We're old and married, and she got me. Oh, and I got a new ring. One of these sport rings
Yeah.
that are like silicone based. So you don't ruin your real ring.
Oh, yes.
These things are amazing. So I
Yeah.
can work here in the garage on the car.
Without really
Oil.
scratching it up.
You're right, because the gold, I had like a two-tone gold, like a white gold and a normal gold.
Yeah.
And, I'm a house dad. I'm not shy with tools.
Right.
And you get scratches all over it over time, or you take it off and you forget where you put it, or it gets oil and you clean it. These silicone things, like I don't care. I'll do anything with it. I don't have to worry about if I did something here in an emergency.
Yeah.
If they had to cut it, I wouldn't be worried. I don't ruin the real one.
I have never taken mine off,
Yeah.
except when it got lost on our honeymoon.
On your honeymoon.
Yeah,
You're
lost
one of
it.
those guys.
It
actually
literally came off. We went on our honeymoon, which was a cruise,
Yeah.
and we were on some islands, and we were swimming around in the ocean, and it just all of a sudden I popped up and went, "Oh my God, where's my
Oh, yeah.
where's
Plus,
my?"
it's new, so you didn't really necessarily know about the feeling. Remind me to tell you about my Hawaii one where I lost my ring. Anyway, that's a good story.
Yeah.
That's a long one too. That's a hero, big damn hero.
Well, we ended up buying the same thing like at the next port. It was
Oh, really?
the same exact.
Did you buy it on the? Wait, what? How
Yeah.
did you get the same?
It was the same. It was like the same band. It was
Was it just a simple?
just very
Oh,
simple.
yeah.
Very simple.
Not that it
like
had to be
gold ring.
ornate.
Yeah.
Not that you're plain. I find you very exciting and adventurous.
Right. So that's cool. Anniversary stuff.
Yeah. Xander's computer had like some Windows 10 update, and all he does on that thing is just play Minecraft and Roblox, which
Yeah.
are fine. Of all the games that you could be playing at his age, I'm like, oh, those are creative and fine.
Right.
But he just like blindly went and pressed through a bunch of buttons for updates, and it just roasted.
It broke a bunch
And
of
it's
stuff.
a netbook. It's an Alienware, but it's a netbook from a couple of years back, and just wasn't meant to run Windows 10. And
So did you have to back rev it?
I got it close. I got it close to working on Sunday, and then I think it had like a patch thing yesterday.
Yeah.
And he did, while I was out on my run, he did another it was laggy, so I rebooted it. But who knows? And so when I came back from my run, it's staring at please insert the Windows bootable disk, and it was just trashed. I'm like, I don't have time for this today. I was like, anyway,
Bummer.
So Windows 10, evil.
Yeah, I've not had good success with Windows 10, even work systems.
Yeah.
The tools that we have at work, some of the tools that we've developed for development tools, just don't work well with Windows 10.
Yeah.
And, everyone's so busy, it's not like they're going to put a couple engineers on just updating our stuff to make it work with Windows 10. So I went to Windows 10 and then had to revert that machine back.
Really?
Yes, to get everything working. And, I never have to do that kind of stuff on the Mac, but that was a big pain.
Maybe that part of that that thing is why I like the beta stuff for the Apple. Like, I'm so used to these rebootings and patches for new and updates and tweaky things. I'm like, yeah, put me in the beta.
The one thing that concerns me when I look at my Windows machine at work is most of the stuff I use is on the Mac side, but when I look at when I turn it on the screen and it tells me your machine was rebooted.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you reboot my machine? I didn't ask you. So I must have something configured to automatically.
Yeah.
And I should shut that off.
Played a lot of video games on Sunday. Well, other than that, that was my weekend. What'd you do?
What did I do this weekend? We had my daughter was home.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She came home. That was good. Made my wife very happy. They are like the Bobbsey twins.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you tell her about how'd the story go over about Sparkles?
Oddly, she
ZFG.
just kind of laughed it off. Like, well, she's here now. So, I mean, it's, everybody else freaked out, but she was all right with it because when she got there, the cat was there.
Should have floated like, so if perchance this were to happen again, would you be upset?
What I got out of it was that she would not completely hate my wife if the cat never made it home.
Yeah.
There's hope.
Well, there you go.
Right?
Like I said, when you talk about a pet. So, there's an interesting question on today is, so the dog, does the dog seem aloof, the puppy, does the dog seem aloof or to not care or be so independent that it wouldn't share time with you if you just walked up to it and wanted affection? Yeah. The puppy.
He wants all the attention in the world.
See?
Oh, yeah.
You don't get that from a cat.
No. Not all cats. And I would say probably the majority of cats you don't get that from. But there are some.
Yeah, I'm sure if you
exception,
somehow get a cat that's a mutant that wants to love and be loved and not be independent, then yeah. But I think that's just ingrained into a dog to search for partnership and affection.
Yeah, they want you. They want to be happy and they want you to be happy, I think.
Yeah, unless it's a Chihuahua, then no one cares.
Yeah, well.
They're just irritable all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They are.
Is Nacho a Chihuahua mix?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was taking a shot in the dark.
He's a purebred Chihuahua.
Is he?
Yeah. That's why he's a fucker. Well, I mean, he's all right. No, not that kind of fucker.
Oh.
Just a fucker in general. He's the typical Chihuahua. He has his territory. And he has his people that he loves.
Yeah.
And damn it, if he doesn't know who you are and you're encroaching on that, he's gonna let you know.
He's gonna fuck you.
Come here. I don't got any balls, but come here. I only got one eye.
I'm gonna put it deep.
Yeah, I think, but I can't tell because I don't have another eye.
Damn, that was a shoelace. Sorry about that.
And then shout out to the Dixon Corn Maze. We went to the Dixon Corn Maze.
How was it? How was the corn?
I enjoyed it. Remember I talked about I didn't want to be the guy?
You're right. Did someone step
Data
up?
stepped up. And was
Data
the guy.
stepped up.
He only got
Nice.
us lost about. I don't even think I can count that high. 6.
Wow.
6.
Yeah.
All right.
Were there different types of map people in your maze?
Now, are you talking
journey?
about in our group or
Yeah,
in the maze?
in your group. Yeah, different types.
Oh
of,
no,
Did everyone do it blindly?
everyone just followed Data's,
Right.
except me, and then I was checking where we were occasionally, and then every once in a while he'd be like, "I am lost and don't know where I'm at," and then I'd be like, "Okay." Then I'd look at the map and go, "I think we're right here,"
All right.
and then we would sort of figure it out. So it wasn't terrible.
You have the stakes.
What'd you call me?
The stakes. You can look at the stakes.
They're
right?
not always there though.
People have been kicking out. See. Day
Yeah.
2. All right. So keep going. Sorry about that.
No, that was fine. We had a good time.
What kind of food?
Food?
Did they have any food?
They did.
Hot chocolate.
They
It's
did
okay.
actually. They had like a coffee thing, and they had some other stuff, popcorn,
Yeah.
things like that.
See, they didn't have either of those.
But they didn't have those because of the problem with the county, and so. But yeah, definitely always a good time at the Dixon Corn Maze.
What time of day did you go?
Afternoon.
So you had plenty. You
Yeah.
didn't butt up against the sunset or anything.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
we were kind of cutting it up
Were ya?
against the sunset.
There you go.
And then of course we had my wife's birthday. It was
Happy birthday, Shan.
Yep, happy birthday to Shan, and so she had her birthday, and she's still alive, so that's good.
Right. Still ticking.
Yeah, so that was my weekend.
All
you
right.
know, kind of did nothing and a bunch of something. That
Right.
was
That's a
nothing.
whole lot of little somethings.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
nickel
I bet. I
and
mean, like, didn't do anything around the house really.
And then Melly left.
Melly left Monday morning, like 8:00 flight.
So how was her first set of midterms for college?
She's doing really well. I think.
Confident?
Yeah, she's studying and stuff that she doesn't know about. She ends up spending time studying, and
Yeah.
she's a pretty good student,
Yeah.
to be honest. And then she's like, she flew home Monday, had class at 1:00,
Wow.
and then was at Disneyland that night.
Oh,
So yeah,
well, there you go.
she's a hardcore Disneyland.
Hardcore.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the weekend.
There you go.
All right. So did you, Jason Foo?
See, haha.
See, I can't. It's interchangeable.
It's interchangeable.
Did you find any interesting news stories?
I did. So, but this goes back to before we were flipping around our different segment ideas.
Right.
So I had this one from the beginning of October.
Oh, okay. Geez.
So this was about a runner. So I keep track of runner news-ish things. So it came across in not only my ESPN, Sports Illustrated, whatever Twitter feed, but it was a running thing. So it like hit the top of my peg. So this was, now I kind of wrote this, almost scripted it, because it's got a great story punch at the end.
Okay.
So it's Justin Gallegos. He's a junior at Oregon University. He's been running for 7 years. He's run a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles, in 2 hours and 3 minutes, 49 seconds. A young guy, so he's younger than us, probably Data's 20s-ish. He's worked with Nike to develop a shoe called the Fly Ease. So on October 6th, at a race that he was running, a Nike executive shows up at the race to surprise him with a contract with Nike, like a sponsorship contract.
So he developed his own shoe.
No, he worked with Nike to develop
okay.
a shoe.
Okay.
And he's a runner at college. What makes it noteworthy is that Justin is the first professional athlete to get a Nike sports contract who's living with cerebral palsy.
Interesting.
So for his character and involvement with the Fly Ease shoes, which is a shoe that was designed for runners with cerebral palsy because it's their dexterity to try and put on a shoe, it zips up in the back.
Oh.
So for his work and involvement and his continued character awesomeness, they awarded him with a contract, and he didn't know So they just showed up, and so there's a video of some small production company is like making like a mockumentary of his efforts and his contributions to the shoes and cerebral palsy. So they show up at this race, and he thinks it's about they're just making a documentary when they're really just surprising him with a contract. And it is so awesome.
Oh, cool.
Like the feels from watching this young man who, as a runner, is the struggle to run, even as a healthy man or woman, is to get your form right. It's always a struggle. To see this young man with cerebral palsy to go out and put mileage like he was doing, I mean, God, you'd be hard-pressed to watch this video of this young man just put it all out there and not get teary-eyed. It was amazing. It was amazing to watch, and it was like, God, you just needed some feels and some positive news. And this young man was like an inspiration. Like, I got to share this with the kids because it was such good news, and he's such an inspiration that I'm like, man, that's my news thing. That's my news thing. So that's
pretty cool.
That's it. That was my.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good for him.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I had an interesting one, and I'm sure people have heard this, but I thought this was insane. This has happened in Davis, California, so not very far away from us.
It's not far.
Where some high school student took the ashes of one of their grandparents
What?
and mixed it into cookie batter,
Were they high?
and then baked said cookies, and then took them to school and gave them to the friends of them.
Knowingly.
And some people, I don't know if they all knew or most of them knew or whatever, but some of them, even though they knowingly knew that those ashes were in the cookies, ate them anyway. Which I just... What in
Did
the
he
hell?
have to sneak the ashes out? I have so many questions.
I don't... It's just like, it's so insane to think that you could even... One would do that, first of all, and then give them to your
I could
friends.
see how maybe if you were... I don't see that doing it to strangers, but like, if you're like blood of my father kind of thing, I don't know.
I mean, it says nobody has suffered any ill effects and created human remains are not poisonous, although the Davis police lieutenant told the Sacramento Bee there could be some emotional issues experienced. You think?
Yeah, no shit.
You think?
I just choked down chocolate chip cookies and Grandpa's femur.
Yeah. Yeah. I broke my tooth on a tooth.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. I mean, what is wrong with people? I like to call that, instead of cookies and cream, cookies and cremation.
Oh, boy. Dad jokes. Cookies and cremation.
Oh, so, yeah, that one just kind of struck me as just, why in the world would you ever do that?
Wow.
So,
Davis.
yeah, leave it to Davis for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Got
I can say that I've worked in Davis. It's
so bored out there in the cornfield. Just decided to
Yeah.
bake Grandpa and do a chocolate chip cookie.
dude,
That's terrible.
that is awful. So, anyway, so this brings us to the crux of the show this week, which is what is all the rage happening this week that everybody seems to be talking about, and it's the $1.6 billion lottery,
Yeah.
which is insane.
That's a lot of money. So much money.
I can't even wrap my head around how
You
much
know,
money that
I
is.
was thinking earlier, like, you know what? Like the fanciful thoughts that you get, that adults get about the lottery, reminds me a lot about being a kid. And as it gets closer to Christmas, it's like, what's Santa going to bring me?
Oh, yeah.
Like the imagination of like the what ifs and the man could I, and
If
would
I just...
Yeah, that's all I need is
Uh-huh.
the lottery for imagination to adults is like Christmas to kids.
Now, but I think though, I think most of the time, or a lot of the time, people that win that kind of money end up having a lot of problems.
Hard times.
Yeah, if they don't spend it all or whatever, they get cheated out of it, or people die. I mean, I saw just I think it was last week, there was a thing about a guy who won the lottery and he ended up getting killed by some woman, and I mean, it's just crazy.
We had a couple of conversations off to the side, and I think that made it into my Google algorithmics, whatever. So I ended up on like some top 10 people that totally blew their lottery winnings and are now poor,
Right.
like montage on YouTube. And, you know, it's the person that didn't have enough or didn't have any money sense wins the big thing, or they're too young and don't have any money sense, or, you know, they're surrounded by people that don't have their best interest.
Yep.
And, you know, or they have money sense and they just can't escape the trappings of, I want to be part of that life, kind of thing, and they overspend.
The people come out of the woodwork
Oh yeah,
with their hand out. You know, it's sort of like you watch an NBA star, or NBA stars seem to be the ones, and maybe football players too. But the one that really occurs to me is NBA stars, where they sort of have their entourage.
Oh yeah.
Well, those guys are around because they're getting money.
Yeah.
And if you're a lottery winner, that's a lot like being a professional basketball player in my mind, because not everybody can be a professional basketball player. Not everybody can win the lottery.
Yeah. I'm
But
sure
you
some
end
of
up-
those people are security, but yeah, I agree. Some of those
Yeah.
are just hanger-ons.
You collect people who want, you
Look at
to
me.
give them something.
I'll be a good coffee bitch.
Yeah, I'll get you coffee whenever.
I'll be, I need that Bentley though.
For only
What?
$150,000 a year, I'll get you coffee whenever
Yeah,
you want.
whenever you want.
Call me at 3:00
Here's
in the
my
morning.
beeper.
Yeah.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah.
Which is like, some of the states have like the anonymous.
Not in California.
Not in California, yeah.
No.
And I saw that, what was that? Somewhere back east, some
Yes.
lady had won it, and she was from such a small town that she didn't want her name. They were in like a no private state, but she didn't want her name known because she said it would cause too much grievance, that people would know that she had won, and they would all be asking her for cash.
Oh yeah. Well.
She ended up going to court, and I think she got it put into a trust.
Oh.
So, but that was after the fact. I think the way to do it, if you could, would be to create some sort of legal trust and use that to sign the ticket.
Right.
So then, I
Right.
don't know if that's a valid workaround for California or not.
As far as I know, California is
They make you put your
non-anonymous, so you are out there was flapping in the wind, which is, I think it's kind of terrible. Kind of terrible in the sense that, hey, everybody, this guy's now loaded.
Here's your winner.
Come and get it.
Yeah.
Figure out how you can part this man with his money.
Yeah. And I was telling Venus, I said, even if this one's like a double whammy being so big.
Yeah.
It's like you could not win this one especially and expect any form of privacy
Oh,
if you were
yeah.
in one of those states, because
So televised.
you're the and actually, what was it, Powerball, I think it was just short by like tens of $1,000s of the actual largest jackpot ever. I thought it was
Oh, the recent one?
yeah, I thought it was by far and away the biggest
Wasn't
one.
it?
But Powerball had like 1.56 billion
Oh.
or 1.6,
Hmm.
and this was 1.52 or some. I mean, it was off by 100,000 or tens of thousands. It
Yeah.
wasn't by much.
Huh.
But I had figured it was like, I missed the boat on that other $1 billion one.
I think we did buy Powerball tickets.
I think Venus did too.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you're in there, you might as well put a 10 down.
I mean, we don't play all the time. We're kind of like
yeah. I think Venus
fair weather fans.
Yeah, Venus and I did some sort of like layman's math. Like, well, how much would the jackpot have to be for us to say, if we won, we would never have to work a
Well-
job for someone that we didn't want to work for?
Right.
And I think that, it's like, well, somewhere above 75 to 100 million. It's like, so whenever it gets above there and we happen to be in the store and we can swing it, I gotta put 10 in.
Yeah.
Get 10 out and we'll put 10 in.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Yeah.
otherwise, no.
But for the sake of the fact that the lottery was as much money as it was, we're kind of having fun playing around with
Yeah. Imagination. Yeah.
And so we kind of came up with the top 5.
Top 5.
The top 5 cars that you would buy, because I don't think I could just stop at 1 or 2.
Probably not.
If you had
like
that
your
kind of
wish
money.
list.
Yeah, but the top 5 cars that you would buy if you won that lottery.
Yeah.
Which is, man, it's almost daunting.
Mine's changed over time. So my top car, and I had this talk with Venus too. So my top car used to be, I would get whatever the latest Z was. I am a Z fan.
Yeah.
Like I've had.
So even the current one?
Even the current one. That's
Okay.
I would get the current one.
You're the only guy.
The only guy. The only. Yeah.
There aren't many people that like to talk about the Z in positive terms these days, right?
Yeah. I'm a fanboy hard.
Okay.
So I've had a 76. I've had a 260. And 3 240s.
Okay.
The one that I had that was a 240, it was blue that I had to sell. It had like the roll cage, everything. It was my project car.
Okay. So this was more of a race vehicle.
Okay. It was like prepped, ready to go. Then became dad. And so that one
Later,
had to go.
yeah.
So I have the white one.
Oh,
That's
sad
the
dad.
72 240 that's in the back.
Okay.
So it's a long way around. Z fan,
Okay.
and so I had a long time that if I ever won, I would go get the latest one because that's always the car that I'd wanted.
Okay.
Now thinking about it, and the Focus is so awesome. I'm so impressed with the Focus.
Right.
Like I don't know. I think I would go and have something like one of the speed shops. And I would have them do like a resto mod of like a 69 Camaro, like the Robert Downey did for Chris Evans.
Yeah.
I know he did like a Boss Mustang that he had like everything is new under it.
Right. Oh yeah.
But the skin,
the resto mod.
yeah. But the skin is like a historic car.
Sure.
I was telling Vegas, I think that's what I would do because I have no problems with replacing the Focus as a daily driver, but I would probably go out and start right away, like go to a shop and say, I would like a 69 Camaro, but I want you to just resto mod it.
Uh-huh.
Take as long as you want, relatively, and we would go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Z?
God, I probably not. I said so. That's my shift.
So that's
Used
the
to be.
shift. So now you'd be.
Now I would start a project car.
Okay. So
Project
instead,
car.
you're thinking now no Z.
Probably not right off the bat because they're working on revamping it anyway. For
It doesn't
2020.
matter. You've got enough cash.
Right. God, I would just wait. I would end up waiting. I know it's the last end. And it's funny, too, with the Zs.
Maybe you go buy a new Z to go find the Camaro.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean.
I drove Mike Z. Man, I kicked myself, too. Because Angie let us. It was Angie or might have been Brad. They drove it to Mahaney.
Okay.
And I think Mike was out of town. And they let me drive it. And I drove it with Venus in it. And like the Focus, that car put a smile on my face. Something fierce. It was awesome.
Was his Z modded, like suspension? And
I don't think so. I think it was
stock?
relatively stock. That car was... That was the first time I'd ever driven it because it was a long-standing joke that if I ever went to a dealership and rode in one, I would walk out with one.
Right.
So the first time I drove one, it was Mike's. Absolutely amazing. The roads were wet, and I got that coming out of the turn there at Mahaney, the right.
Uh-huh.
I got the back end just a little bit loose, and it puckered Venus up pretty good.
Right.
And I
Borrowed car.
Right. And I got it was no big deal. I got a handle of it. I knew that was going to happen.
Sure.
Amazing car. And then it tanked. His clutch blew out, and he ended up getting the Altima. And I will always feel bad that I didn't get to go for another drive, at least with Mike, in it.
Sure.
Before it went away.
That was the car that you took the WRX up the hill with, right? Like
yes, we
okay.
went. Yeah, something past. He's gonna kill me for not remembering. But yes, him and I went
up 50
the
or something.
Subaru, yeah, up 50.
Okay. All right. So
Z is probably number 6.
69 Camaro.
69 Camaro Resto Mod would be my number 1.
All right. Well, I'm a little bit more. My son would be like, "Oh, you've got to get a Ferrari or a Lambo or or a McLaren."
We see those around here.
Yeah,
which
we
is
do.
weird. To
It
me.
is.
It's like suburbia. You see the Lambos.
But I'm a realist in the sense that I don't like to buy cars that make me want to spend money on them constantly.
Yeah.
So cars that just require a ton of maintenance for me is not. It doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you got all the money in the world, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But that's just sort of how I am. I'm a little bit more conservative in that regard.
So you would looking for your number 1 car would be like a daily driver?
Well, I think my number 1 car, honestly, if I were to win the lottery, if we had won the lottery, I would go buy the Civic Type R.
Really?
That would be the first thing. I'd be like, I have to have that car.
I would fully approve that car.
Yeah.
That is an amazing car.
That would be. I've become a Honda guy.
Yeah.
Over the years. I had a 91 Civic Si that I loved back in the day. Little tiny.
Those were great cars.
3-door.
Those SIs were like tweaked.
A lot like your RS, where it was black on black. So I had the black tinted windows and the black. So it was very similar.
Yeah.
And so when I see your car, it kind of makes me think of the old SI. Of course, that car was funny.
I don't remember all the colors. Ian had an SI, but it was blue. Did they have a black SI? Was it black and red badging?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So they had a white one, a red one, a sort of bluey green one, and the black one. Those were the 4 colors that came.
I bet the white one was like a sleeper.
Yeah.
Because that's white, Honda white.
Right. Yeah.
Is your car fast?
But I really liked that car. That car was interesting in the fact that they eked horsepower out of it, which it didn't even have a lot of horsepower. It was just very lightweight.
Yeah.
But they eked horsepower out of it because it had no power steering. Didn't even have electric windows. It had electric sunroof, but not electric windows. But, that car was a lot of fun to drive, and everything I read about the Civic Type R just says that thing's kind of RS-style monster.
I think it, relative to front-wheel drive cars.
Yeah.
And even some all-wheel drive cars.
Yeah.
It is the pinnacle right now. Affordability.
Yes.
The pinnacle front-wheel drive car.
Right.
Like, you would be hard-pressed to convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
I love the way it looks. Even that big, giant, stupid wing on the back. I would live with it. I just love all the gingerbread stuff they've done. Everyone wants to complain about how, the little things here and there. It's like, I love all that stuff. I think it makes it look mean.
Yeah.
Where you compare that to like a Golf R, which is in my opinion, a super sleeper car because no one knows what it is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's anything. It really, other than the 4 exhaust tail tips in the back, you wouldn't know it did anything different than a Golf or a GTI.
Yeah.
So when you start looking at those, the Civic Type R is a little gingerbready, but I just think it's mean looking, and I would take that in a heartbeat. That'd be my first one.
You just do it?
Yep. And it would probably end up being my daily driver. I would probably commute the crap out of that car.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think my number 2, Venus wants her own RS.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I would like to see that someday.
She hooned it. She took it to, she drove it to the Ford to get its 15,000-mile check-in.
Uh-huh.
And then she picked it up, and she took it down to get the tinting.
Yeah.
So she,
She gets around in it.
She gets around it. She picked up the kids on Friday. Sorry. Oh, wow, dead mosquito. I caught it right out of the air and killed it on his Mac. And she,
Yeah.
thanks for letting me drive it. It's so fun. Your
Well, I
car's so
mean, she
fun."
has a decent rig herself. I mean,
She does.
It's a sport, right? The Explorer Sport.
Yeah, it's a whatever the trim. Yeah, it's a sport. Is the top line for that. Although I think the Explorer has a new one for 19 or 20 that's like the next.
So so I'm just wondering because that seems to me like a car that would get up and go because it's like an inline 6, I think, or is it V6?
It's V6.
But
Turbo
doesn't it have?
V6.
Yeah, is it
Yeah.
twin turboed?
No,
Just single?
Just single.
Are the new ones twin?
I
thought
don't know.
I thought I heard that the new ones were twin turbo.
Maybe
But still.
it does, but it's not as nimble as
Of course
as that.
not.
And I think
It's
for a
way
while
heavier.
back, what did we bought? The Italian Job and the Mini Coopers, they're all tweaked out and
Oh yeah.
those. She wanted something like that for a while, but yeah. Number
Those
2.
are just so tiny.
Yeah. Number 2 would be an RS for Venus.
Wow.
Not the blue. She's not a fan of the blue, but she would
rock another black one.
would rock. Well, I don't know she didn't say.
Oh.
But
What colors do they come in? Black, the blue.
they have like a
they have
a cloudy gray,
Okay.
the white,
Oh,
the
wait.
black, and then that nitrous blue.
Okay. Which is like really
Vibrant.
Vibrant,
It's
yeah.
not the Ford navy blue. It's like a
it's almost like a really vibrant sky blue.
like a neon.
Yeah.
It's out there.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Take the sky and multiply it
Yeah.
in Photoshop.
Maybe white. I think she said she liked the white.
Well, I don't think the blue's terrible.
It's not. I almost think you got to get, if you're a collector, because it's got like a fleck in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like a sparkle fleck.
Yep.
It's one of those collector things you may want to consider getting it
Yeah.
just for shits and giggles.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm impressed that Venus would want a car like that because my wife would be like, well, what did she say? If I won the lottery, I would just go buy a new CRV. Yeah.
Venus is a sleeper car enthusiast.
That's impressive.
Yeah, she recognizes
Data's and I had to be like, what are you talking about?
a new CRV.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine, but you don't understand the type of income that is.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm not sure that she fully understands that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, my second car would be, I would buy a Model S.
A Model S. Oh,
A
Tesla.
Tesla Model S. And considering you've got lottery dough, I would also make sure that they came out and installed the bad boy charger that charges the car in like an hour or whatever, 45 minutes to an hour.
So you would also get, as part of the infrastructure needed
Oh, absolutely.
for the hot battery.
Yes.
Hot charging.
Yes. I would have a Model S with the...
Will got his. So it's not 220. It's
Well, you can
480?
charge
What
it.
do you charge it on?
You
that
can
gets
charge
the
it off
fast?
a plug, but it would take 8 or 10 hours to fully charge that thing. I don't know the different levels of chargers that they offer, but you want the supercharger style charging, which I believe they offer that for the home.
Do they?
Yeah, it's
So you come out, have an electrician run you a dedicated circuit breaker
Yeah.
for XXX voltage,
Yep.
and that just has one big, massive, happy
What
cord.
what do they say? It charges it. So, like my office has chargers, but they're not like Tesla superchargers. So they're just regular car chargers. So you can hook up a leaf or a volt or anything to them. And then we've got a
They have those at Mahaney now. I never thought
yeah.
to look at the voltage.
yeah.
Of
So the output on them is not as big as what
A supercharger?
A supercharger.
Yeah.
So one of the things, the guy at the office that has a Tesla Model S, he hooks it up to our chargers at work, and they're considerably slower than a supercharger. And he says that the one at work charges about 30 miles per hour. And that the supercharger one, because the car will fully charge in like 45 minutes to an hour. That one charges at 320 miles an hour or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
So, you're talking 10 times the amount of charge you can input into the car off of that charger. So, but that would be, I mean, to have a car that performs like a Model S, as well as a Model S performs, how fast they are. You get the dual motor, you get the P100D or whatever the top of the line one is. You get that car, and man, those things, you're not outputting anything. There's no tailpipe.
Yeah.
And I think that's as impressive as hell.
Yeah.
So, a super bad boy Model S for me. That would be my second choice. Or my second car. Not a choice, it's a car. I would actually buy that. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. What do we got there, Datus?
Is that the new Roadster?
Oh, the Roadster. The new Roadster.
So my 3 would be a double whammy because I'm getting my sad dad would be bleeding through, and I would pre-buy for the kids.
Oh boy,
Model 3s.
Yeah. Wow.
So
okay.
I would also do the infrastructure ready. Now, obviously, I'm running fantasy with you're still living in the place that you're winning your lottery, but I would pre-buy for the kids. Obviously, Xander's a ways off yet.
Yeah.
But I'd be settling on, probably for him, you're doing like a save this as a gift card kind of thing. But for Piper, I would pre-buy like, all right, something tells me that this is the kind of technology that will be around. We're going to get your feet wet with this type of car. It's got all the technology shit that I'm sure that young drivers are going to need to get used to anyway. It's like, well, we'll get you a head start because probably by the time you guys are driving and buying your first car, internal combustion is going to be like a side option thing.
Right.
So,
well,
number 3
plus,
would be kid's car.
The Tesla in general, I think the Model 3s and the Model S and the X, they are almost a step away. It's like they've built everything in so that they could be autonomous at some point.
They're getting there. When I saw his Elon had like a tweet like we don't like force the everything's you need to buy a new one for the updates. It's like there are updates every week, if not every other day or something for features, bug fixes, performances, and the other things.
Yeah, that's impressive too.
That concept as a car manufacturer, regardless if you agree with his practices or not, like cars, I think transportation, not community-based, is going that way. So you either buy in now or at least, and whether or not monetarily buy in, but awareness buy in.
Well,
that's what's going on in cars.
You're buying a car that literally tears a page right out of a computer peripheral type book, right?
Yeah.
I mean, things that update over the air and have all this technology built into them, and they don't have that they're shipping without features yet, and that all that stuff's coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive. They got stuff in there, probably in their board meetings, of what's coming that we don't have no idea.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And when the original Model 3 came out, I thought one of the most interesting things was they tested it with they had whoever it was that was writing the review had a problem with the braking. And
I remember that article.
And Tesla said, no, we're not having this problem. And no one believed them. Well, then they had a software update on the Model 3, and they went back and retested it, and it matched exactly what Tesla said that it should do.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff, to me, that's just fascinating.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, why they got a car that didn't have the current software on it, I don't know. But regardless, Tesla's like, no. That's not how it's. And then they went and retested it, and it did what they said it should do.
Yeah.
just from a software update.
Yeah, I think that ability to change a car's mechanics via software is so different from when we're riding a hybrid, I think, of like the difference between physical tuning versus electronic, the dampening that you can do at a push of a button and the
Right.
focus versus something that's, you want different shock coilover travel. You're getting in there with an Allen wrench and you're adjusting dampenings, or you buy a different set of coilovers,
Right.
period.
Yeah.
Now you push an update and there's an electronic servo that's adjusting the magnetic dampening capabilities of your suspension on the
Amazing.
fly. Amazing technology.
Yeah. So what they've done, I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
I don't think you can beat it. Really.
Yeah.
All right. So what
You're number 3.
My number
You're
three.
Number 3.
This,
Sibian. Is the Sibian?
No. No. This car I picked because it's kind of a purist car. And it's not the top of the line even. I don't even care. That doesn't
No,
bother me.
you're a big winner. You choose whatever you like, sir.
Yeah. I mean, not that this car is cheap by any. I think it's $190,000. But I have selected a Porsche 911 Turbo S.
Okay.
And I just think the look of those cars, the purity of the drive of a Porsche, I don't know that you can go wrong.
Do you ever driven a Porsche?
No.
Neither have I.
I mean, I all I have to base that on is what I read and from what I hear from people who write about cars, because I'm a car guy, even though I drive a crappy Civic. I'm a car guy. I love cars.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And when I hear people talk about Porsches and how they're sort of the de facto standard in performance and how they handle being driven hard and it's not even that they're the fastest vehicles you can get either, but the underlying performance of it all and the feel that you get when you're supposed to be driving these cars, I think you can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
So a Porsche 911 Turbo S would be my third choice?
Third choice?
Yeah, definitely.
So my 4.
My garage is getting bigger.
Is it? You
Yeah.
need a new garage?
I
My
do.
4 would be a project car. So it would be a Jeep CJ5. So it would be not buying per se a functional car. It would be buying like a project car. So like
So something that's not running? Like you're buying a shell?
I don't think, probably buying a shell. I mean, essentially, I would be gutting it anyway.
Okay.
So buying a CJ5 shell and doing my own resto mod of it. So a project car. Venus and I have wanted what we call a dirty Jeep.
Uh-huh.
Something that we don't have concern or care about putting the dogs in, or you're out playing in the snow and everyone's feet are wet, or you're in the mud.
And you don't care?
Or you don't want to worry about the paint. Something you can just rhino line.
Sure.
And not give any fucks about.
Sure.
You could get there with the hose and just spray shit out. You don't care about the stereo. You just want it to run well, run wherever you put it, and you could put anyone in it.
Uh-huh.
That would be it.
Okay.
So the dirty Jeep project car would be my number 4.
It's kind of funny because we made these lists separately, but they're very similar because my next car is a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Now, I would take a brand new one.
A brand new one.
A brand new one. Because,
Are they still making those?
Yes.
I didn't know. Are they?
Yeah. And I would take that guy and I would take it to like some off-road place where they would lift it and put the tires in a light bar and it would look badass.
Tits.
Yes. That's what I want. And
neither of us are off-roaders.
no, but I would be more than happy to take it off-road.
Oh, yeah.
We have a one of our old neighbors. We know them from just life in general and soccer and school and all this kind of stuff. And he owns I think he owned a few muffler shops in town.
Yeah.
And he lives across the street from us. And he has this 4-door Wrangler that is just amazing. And that, when I think of a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, I think of his Wrangler. However, the difference between him and I is when I asked him, "Oh man, that's a beautiful Jeep. Oh yeah, isn't it great? Yeah, you ever take it out? Oh no, it's way too nice for that."
Yeah.
And I just shake my head because that's not what Jeeps are for.
Right. That's why Venus and I call it dirty Jeeps.
Yeah.
It's you don't.
It's meant to be beat up.
Right.
On.
You want to. It's if it gets dinked while you're doing something you probably shouldn't, or going to a place you shouldn't. It's like that's the car.
You're running it down sticks, scratching up the sides.
Yeah, most of the Jeep platform is has such a wide aftermarket of support, whether it's part suppliers or on their internet as far as support and breaking stuff down.
Plenty
repairing,
of shops you can take them to and have
DIY stuff. In fact, I think up there I pre-bought.
Oh, he's disappearing. Oh, look at him. Oh, look at that.
It's still wrapped, but I have the manual in case I ever get one.
Why is there no bookmarks in it with like pen markings and like what you haven't read it fully and
right?
I should be able to test you on it.
I think it's one of those Z things where if I actually cracked it open, I would then be on Craigslist within the hour, like looking for a sub $5,000.
Even though you don't have a Jeep.
Even though I don't have a Jeep, I would be looking.
Oh boy. So, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Number 5 for me.
Okay.
I am also a fan of Transformers and 90s, 80s, late 80s, 90s cartoons.
Okay.
Venus and I. Hey, buddy. Good night. Good night. Venus and I decided a ways back, because we have the RV, that when we're done with this one, if we were to have the money, we would get a diesel pusher style RV that has like the Peterbilt front end, but not quite as long. So somewhere shorter than the one we have. It's probably 26 feet or less.
Okay.
But we would paint it like Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, that'd be badass.
Yeah. So we would have an RV that looks, and we would drive it around that looks like Optimus Prime.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I once tried to convince my wife, and this is when the kids were small in school, that we should sell our house and buy an RV and just travel.
Yeah.
And, well, she says, well, what about the kids in school? And I said, well, we can homeschool the kids. And she said, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm not homeschooling the
Venus
kids.
was like, I can't be a homeschool teacher.
Yeah.
That would not work out for me.
So, but I would feel that. You could buy a really nice RV with
We've
that kind
seen,
of money.
and I think that's what spawned it. We had, because this one's no real complaint. I mean, it's long. I guess
Right.
there is a complaint. It's a little bit long, but it does everything that we need and has all the room that we would need.
Right.
But we've been driving around and we saw one of those ones. Usually they follow around like the NASCAR cars that are over at the track.
Oh, yeah.
It's a diesel front.
They're like Bluebirds or some crap.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
it's got like something where you store the car in the back.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a conversion that's an RV instead of a car hauler.
We had this discussion because I said, "Oh, I'll go buy a big diesel pusher, and then go to the Jeep dealer and put the Jeep and just tow the fucking Jeep behind the diesel,
Yeah.
I'll do that."
I'm like, yeah, paint it like Optimus Prime, like
Yeah.
the new one with the flame. Like, fuck yeah, and everyone will recognize it.
Right.
So you paint the sleeping area like the gray trailer.
Yeah.
And so it'll look,
Yeah.
mini stubby. I said, I guarantee you, anywhere we went and we hooked up for the night, people would be like, hey, we get kids coming to take picture next to Optimus Prime.
Right.
It'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So that's your number 5?
That's my number 5.
Man, it's hard to argue with that. Can't argue with that at all.
No.
My number 5 would be, as I'm not really, I mean, I do like classic cars, so I'm not much for resto modern cars.
Yeah.
I'd rather have just new car.
Yeah.
So my number 5 car would be an Audi R8 because
That's a good car.
I just think that's a badass looking car.
It is.
And I've never driven one. I just see them around, and I just think they're cool.
I remember, well, they've got the place over in Rockland. I slow roll that when we would play out in Rockland. I would slow roll that Audi. It's nice.
Well, a coworker just recently bought an Audi Q3, which is like a sort of small crossover.
Mm-hmm.
Man, what a cool car that is.
Yeah.
I would drive that car.
Yeah.
I mean, they're expensive.
To me, the Audis are a lot like the Subarus in that I have full faith in the all-wheel drive system.
And the Quattro or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they do that well. That's their thing. They all have it.
Yeah.
It's tough as nails from my perspective.
Sure.
You're like, nailed it.
Well, if you guys have ideas on your
Top
5 cars that you would buy if you won the lottery, let us know.
Let us know. Hit us up.
Because it's fun to play.
It's fun.
I mean,
It was good. It was good. Like, oh man, all these things. And it, like I said, that my top 5 has changed since becoming a parent.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like, it was sports car, some sort of lifted thing, for 2 people or a convertible, whatever. Now my top 5 has something for the kids in it.
See, I'm swinging back. For me personally,
a lot more practical.
Swinging back to like having the thoughts about two passenger cars, like a BRZ or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, they have a seat in the back, but no one's gonna fit.
No one uses.
Unless you literally get
that's for
legs
your
cut
golf
off.
bag.
And I don't even know if that'll fit.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, there we go. That's I think that's a good list.
That was a good list.
I like your list. I would take I would trade your list from my list.
We both had a Jeep.
Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
All right. Well, hey, that does it. We got to wrap this up because it's getting late and Foo's got to get in bed.
I know.
Look at him.
It's an early day.
He's starting to fall asleep.
I change controls.
In his new IKEA chair.
Yeah.
So thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
We appreciate it. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.